Not many cared to listen to the sister of the Shah. She had a plain way of speaking, which contrasted sharply with her brother's histrionics and her mother's grandiloquence. Her observations were weighted by common rather than political sense, and her wits posed no great challenge to the average mind. Most of the time, her quiet remarks sank like pebbles in the stream of conversation and were quickly forgotten. Her influence was absorbed rather than observed, assimilated rather than noticed, and only remembered vaguely, like a yawn in retrospect. They called her the polo ball, even before she was sent hurtling across the muddy field of ministerial politics. She looked just like one, according to the women of the Anderoon. So it was hardly surprising that the Shah passed her back and forth with a crack of his muddy mallet from one marriage to the next for 5 decades. She was wed to his first, to the son of his second, to the brother and nephew of his third and fourth, and finally to the secretary of his last premier. But her value dropped steadily with each alliance. Although she served as the king's seal of approval when newly minted, her currency became worthless when accompanied by his disfavour. Her first marriage was doomed to death, her second to divorce, her third to disease, her fourth to disappointment, and her fifth to disgrace. By the time her brother was assassinated, it had become evident that whoever married his sister would suffer castration or eradication in the end. When the wife of the British envoy finally met her on the occasion of her second courtesy call to court, some weeks after the ignominious funeral of the murdered Grand Vizier, she thought the little widow dreadfully dull. Her ladyship had nurtured high expectations of the young maiden. She had imagined that the princess would be distinguished for her intelligence, remarkable for her independence, notable for her bearing, for she had chosen to leave the court with her 2 small children and accompany the old vizier when he was banished to the provinces. She had shared his howdah as well as his humiliations all the way to Qajar. The gruesome details of his death, which filtered back to the capital 2 months after his demise, only intensified the desire of the Englishwoman to meet this Persian heroine who had taken such a bold stand beside her husband in his hour of need. But the Princess Royal greatly disappointed her. She turned out to be a dumpy little person, unbecomingly cocooned in black taffeta, who hung her head with the air of a simpleton and didn't utter a word the entire afternoon.